It is what time is it? 1:19. We're getting
1:19.
later and later. It's getting later and later.
Yeah, you're late.
No, I'm not late.
Yeah, you're late.
But you're like moving in. You got to get a new machine, man.
Is it doing a little? It's doing its little dance.
Yeah, it's like your audio is great, but you're like
Frozen.
yes. Oh my god.
So
Ellen and
Ellen
and Meredith, can you help this dude? Well, I don't know if Ellen or Meredith is with us, by the way. I hope they are. Yeah, the cold one, the bold one, John Cold Ice Lawson is trying to get his video. Yeah, shut some of those processes down. That's what you need to do.
it's
yeah, it's
but I mean, you got the mic. You got the
actually,
mic, so that's good.
Actually, you've never looked better. You're just like this little white ball with a little oh my god, you're back. Are you back?
You wanted me to stay gone?
Okay. Oh, so what did you just do? Put a little picture of yourself in there? Because I don't see any lips moving or anything. Well, there it is. Oh boy.
I don't know.
This is
it doesn't I'm what?
I'm gonna say this is watching Amazon, where one of the co-hosts needs to go on Amazon and buy himself a new laptop at this point.
It's working. We're working it.
Is it work? Is it start? Is the CPU starting to cool down a little bit? I think I see some smoke.
So I'm not back yet.
No. I mean, you're like way behind your audio. Is there? If there's anybody out there? Oh, there's Ellen. Oh, Ellen. As soon as I said there's Ellen, the cold one, the bold one just dropped off. Ellen, whenever Mr. Lawson comes back, let us know if he is looking choppy, because right now he's having some serious video issues. And I'm not even talking about his appearance. I'm just saying his video. So hopefully he'll be back, and we'll see if we'll actually be able to do watching Amazon. I think he really needs to just go to Amazon and buy himself a new laptop at this point. Okay, here he is. Looks like he's back. We'll see if let's see. And okay, it looks good.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm excited. You seem to be there. You seem to be moving pretty decently.
I do need a new computer, man.
That's not even a question at this point.
It's bad.
It's kind of, kind of a bad look for the cold one, the bold one, John Cold Rice Lawson, not to be looking too good. Are you getting permission? You get something new?
He just said, "I'll get you a really great PC for $500."
John, we need something good. We need something better than that, John. Such hate. By the way, I have a MacBook Pro and I have a Surface Book Pro. So you can't hate me. I'm ambidextrous. I guess that's what it goes. Ellen, what kind of a machine do you have? Ellen, do you have a MacBook, or do you have some kind of a Windows-based system? And what would you, Ellen, what would you suggest the cold one, the bold one, John Cold Rice Lawson get so that we don't go through these issues anymore? Meredith isn't even here, so I'm not even worried about Meredith anymore.
Okay, can we get to the show?
Can we? Are we good to go now?
Yeah, let's go. All
right, here we go. Hey, folks, welcome to Watching Amazon. And who are you, sir?
I'm John Lawson. Colder Ice. At Colder Ice.
No cold one, no bold one today, huh?
No cold, no bold. Just I'm here.
Dag, he's here, folks. Don't you just feel so good about it now? Anyway.
Yeah.
Craig says you should get a Dell desktop
Look,
Chromebook.
it's not
Ellen,
going to happen. I'm going to get an upgraded Apple, and that works with their system. It's not my computer. It's the Apple upgrade. It doesn't like certain things that I do. And
Ellen
it actually doesn't like Google Chrome. And only reason why I got Google Chrome open is because I can't use anything else with this StreamYard. So that's why my system is acting up. I have a problem with Google Chrome. I don't know why, but anytime Chrome's running, it kills my processor. So there.
Ellen,
Brent already knows.
Ellen says you should get a Windows Intel Core i7. Craig says his wife likes Apple, but he says you should get a Dell. And anyway, something to think about. John, let him buy something good. That's all I'm saying. We need him to
I just need to be off of Chrome as soon as possible.
All right, so this is Watching Amazon. Wait a minute. I got to do something real quick. I'm Brent Leary. There it is. All right, now I feel better. Okay, so I'm going to let you start as usual, and because you posted this image, and I'm guessing there's a story behind this image.
Well, that's how you can tell COVID is over, because you can get toilet paper now on Amazon that has name brands.
So that's how we know we're on the pathway down, is because you can now get brand name toilet paper on Amazon. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, absolutely. That's definitely a signal.
I mean, you can get what it looks like the 24 pack. I mean, that's
of Quilted Northern now. That's the key, right? This is the key. You're able to get name brand, because they had all. Remember, we did this maybe 4 weeks ago, where we were going through, and I was showing the fact that there was no name brand on Amazon that you could get. And so
you're doing a little dance. It's kind of amusing.
I see it. It's really crazy. I don't know what's going on with this computer, dude.
Your computer's like, throw in the towel. I'm done.
It's really bad.
Remember that scene in Rocky when
okay, just go on. Let's not throw it. Just go on.
Throw it in. Rock.
I'll go. Okay, I'll put a sign up. I'll stop the cam. So that
because
it's really more important we talk. So let's talk,
Mr. Serious. All right. No, I'm sure
I'm just saying. I don't want people to sit around and do 20 minutes because my camera's bad.
It looks like you're doing a good impersonation of Max Headroom. Remember that one?
I do remember Max Headroom.
There you go. See, all right. So you think we're back? Amazon is all the way back now, because I mean, we're trying to kind of have fun with this, but we're starting to see things that we hadn't seen in a while show up. Is that kind of the scene here? That we're saying?
I mean, if you go to youramazon.com right now, don't you get product instead of just movies?
Want me to see?
Yeah, go for it. I'm pretty
sure. Let me bring it up here. And go to Amazon. Let's see what we get.
See?
Yeah, we're getting stuff.
Yeah, look at the top. You got an ad for shoes, not just Prime Originals.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're right. Yep. In all this stuff too.
Yep.
Yeah, it is looking more like you would normally see it.
Yep.
So you think we've turned a corner, in other words, there.
Yeah, I mean, it's just the sudden rush to buy toilet paper was a signal of America literally freaking out, for better terms. This is Max Headroom. It's driving me crazy.
All right, so actually, we got some good questions from both Ellen and Craig. So I'm going to do Ellen first. Can you get Lysol spray? So let me.
I don't think you can. Not yet.
Go. Let's see. Throw in Lysol. Let's see.
That's the one thing that's still lagging on stuff.
What should I shoot for? Lysol.
Just say Lysol spray.
All right, I do spray.
Because that's the thing that's missing. You can't get the spray disinfectants right now.
And it looks like you still can't get it.
Yep.
You get other stuff.
I actually checked this yesterday because my sister was looking for one. And I was like, oh, I still can't find it. But of course, you can always spray some bleach.
Yeah, you can go off brand. You go with the off brand stuff. Yeah. Okay, so the next thing. So Ellen, it looks like we still can't get that. Yep, nope. Craig says, how is business for you guys? I'm gonna let you answer that.
It's fine. I don't really see. I mean, there's people that are up and there's people that are down. Most are let's put it like this. There's categories that are up and categories that are down. So depending on what category people are in, they're seeing some major uptick, right? So homeschooling categories, books, games, toys, things like that are seeing big spikes like it's Christmas. Wherein, outdoor gear up until now, I'm sure outdoor gear will follow up, but outdoor gear was not doing so.
Which is kind of funny because there was something for another show I do. I found this thing about how, have you ever heard of this? It's kind of like the Airbnb for RVs. It's like RVs. Yeah. Where we all know that Airbnb is in the tank right now. Nobody's trying to go to anybody's house, to stay. But people are definitely still trying to figure out ways to get away. And so there's this service. It's like the Airbnb of RV rentals. I wish I could remember what it is. It's RV something. But anyway, their business is up like 6,500%.
Yeah.
So people are definitely trying to
money never trying to get out. Here's the thing I tell people all the time in business. Money, no matter what the economy is, never dissipates. It never dries up. It's when it just moves. Money moves. It never dries up. So just like I'm guessing Uber is not making its money right now, but while Uber was down, Grubhub had a record season, which actually almost wiped out what they were losing for the entire first quarter in the month of April.
Wow.
So money moves.
All right. So I'm going to show you what I think is even more of a sign that Amazon is back. And I can bring this up.
Ellen said her pets products were way up too.
Yeah, I popped that on the screen.
Yeah, that's cool.
I think that's really good. Good. Congratulations, Ellen. That's a good thing. But here's what I think may be even a bigger sign that maybe Amazon is back. Look at this. The Gates Foundation buys up not only Amazon, but Amazon, Apple, Twitter stocks, and trims Berkshire Hathaway. So it looks like Bill G is investing in the FANG stocks, and Amazon is right there, and stepping away a little bit from Berkshire, which is the staples, which you hardly ever hear anybody divesting from Warren B.
I thought Warren B, when he dumped all the stocks that he talked about and was saying we're just kind of like holding and waiting, he was playing a very even-keeled game, and he still is. And I think Bill is, or the Gates Foundation is like, we're going to go after the COVID stocks. I mean, actually, I was watching whatever his name is, the guy, Kramer, and he was talking about, he put his own COVID watch stocks together. And it's interesting to watch his barometers, and it's up like 170% during this time. But I think there is a shift that's going on, and hopefully Amazon will be part of that shift. So we'll see.
Well, I think it's really interesting because this is the FANG are the fast movers. And what was interesting, they didn't move that far down compared to the market. But man, are they? I mean, most of them are around all-time highs.
Yep.
And when you think about it, in the market that we had, didn't the market go down to like 18, 19,000 from 29,000? I mean, yeah, but still, it was up it was as high as 29,000, and it made it all the way down to 18, 19,000, and that didn't take very long for it to get to that point. Now, it didn't stay down there that long,
right?
But I think people saw the opportunity to get into these stocks like Amazon, Apple, because they move much more dramatically, and since they didn't move dramatically down, I think people are like,
I actually think they're overvalued.
I'm sure a lot of people think they're overvalued, but I don't know if that means that they're not going to be still leading the way out of this thing, because it just, for whatever reason, I'm not saying there's a lot of logic involved. No. People are going to that. And I mean, let's face it, though, there is some logic. People think, well, there's more online shopping than ever before. And if Amazon is the poster child for that, well, maybe we should just stay there,
Yeah, somewhat. But I mean, I think the reason why I say it's kind of overvalued is because Amazon does depend on consumer purchasing. And with, 30 million people just being out of work, I don't think that's going to turn around all that fast, and at some point that is going to take its toll on the economy. So it depends on how the government deals with these unemployment numbers, and those people have to have cash flow. And if they don't have cash flow, they're not buying from any of these places. That's why I think the entire, not just FANG, but stocks in general are doing weird things.
Totally disconnected from from Main Street.
It's a little rah-rah, cheer, and I appreciate Americans for wanting to, to support it. And it's a good feel right now.
But I will say this. I mean, when you see the shift that has gone from, face-to-face brick and mortar retail to online, you can understand why people are going to go to Amazon to a certain extent around that, because they're the leaders still. I think Shopify is really the one you want to be looking at right now because of all the things. And we've discussed this, and I might even bring this up a little bit, but let's set the stage. So people are able to buy toilet paper again. Bill G Bill G has said, I'm going to buy more JB and a little less Warren B. So here's what I think this is all adding up to. Could this happen? Could this happen? Could it happen? I mean,
could I care less?
I'm just saying, could this is something I didn't think was a possibility for anybody to get to be a trillionaire.
I mean, the story is 4 years out.
But so still,
it's like if things stay the same for the next 4 years for Amazon, he could be a trillionaire. Could this happen? Yes. And I could be a trillionaire too.
Okay. I think you started really dancing as soon as you said that. So you even upset yourself on that one.
I can't help it.
You might want to take a step back. Hey, our buddy Alan is with us too. I've made more non-Amazon online purchases in the last 2 months than in the last 2 years. Am I the norm or not? Alan, you are always going to be an outlier. It doesn't matter what we're talking about. So, we could just put that one.
I think you're probably the norm. I think people that were simply Amazon shoppers, which like Brent and his friend that was on the show the other day, they're primary Amazon shoppers. They don't even know that there are other places online to buy stuff. So,
okay.
The deal is with Amazon not being as responsive as it normally is, I think it gave other people opportunities to look for products elsewhere, and they found the shopping experience pretty good.
Okay, do I have to point out the obvious in that statement? When COVID hit and stay home hit, and people were forced to change their shopping habits literally overnight because they couldn't go out and wait a minute because they couldn't go because they couldn't go out anymore. They couldn't go to the store. So what do? They have to go online. And who did everybody know? What name did everybody know? Amazon. And so where did everybody go? Amazon. And what do? They completely overrun Amazon to the point where it presented opportunities for other folks because they weren't getting hit like Amazon was. So I think it's an obvious logical story.
That is an obvious logical story, but I don't think it's the actual story. That's all I'm saying.
Well, I think it is. It makes total sense. So if you don't,
but mine does not make sense.
Wait a minute. If you only know one name in online retailing, and
that's what I said at the beginning, you only know one name. You're proving my point.
I actually am proving my point. So if there's a violent shift from buying things in bricks and mortar overnight to buying things online, and the only name you know online to go to is one company. I'm going to put the name up. Wait a minute.
Doesn't do grocery.
And that's
the problem. That one company does not do grocery. It only did grocery for the uppity, snooty people. And then all of a sudden, everybody needed it. And they didn't know how to handle that volume. So they fell apart.
So once again, there is nobody on the face of the earth that would have been able to handle that dramatic shift, that complete scale and I guess exponentially growing.
I don't know. Because now you're assuming.
No, I'm not assuming. It just makes too much damn sense.
You're assuming because look, bro. All right, Amazon. We already know Amazon's grocery share is very low. We already know that.
But it wasn't just grocery share. We're talking toilet paper. I mean, that's the stuff that people could have bought.
All that is grocery.
People, it's not food. People could have bought this stuff before COVID on Amazon. They didn't because they would just go to the store and buy it. But what happens when you can't go to the store? Then you start to buy stuff online. And where do you go online? Where do you go? Where do you go online? You go to the only name that you know, that you've heard of. Even if you have not,
to what store for?
I just said when you can't go to the store.
What store? The grocery.
Whatever.
Store.
Name whatever store you want. Whatever store that you used to go to, you can't go to.
You're wrong.
I'm not wrong.
You are wrong.
I'm not wrong. There was
absolutely wrong.
There were surveys done that said people that had never shopped online before, that shopped in March, there's like 30% of those folks had never shopped for anything online before.
I'm gonna let you finish.
I'm done.
Okay. So
because it's logic.
Okay.
So, I can't help it. It's logical.
Okay. Shut up.
No, you shut up.
You shut up.
Don't tell me to shut up.
You shut up.
You stop doing that weird dance.
I can't help it. So I get it, and I totally get it, man. And the deal is, people actually did stop shopping. They stopped spending money for at least a good 2-3 weeks on frivolous items. People weren't buying clothing. People weren't buying trips. People weren't flying anywhere. People were stacking their money because they didn't know what was going on. And the only thing they were actually buying were the essentials that they used to get from the grocery store. So that's why Amazon removed the cords, the plugs and the batteries, and they removed all of that because nobody was buying it in volume, and they were focusing on the essentials, which were grocery or grocery-based things that you could get in the grocery store, and they had very little supply based on the huge demand that they did get. And the problem was for them is that they were not able to fulfill it all. So they had all of this backlog going on, trying to get their shelves full of grocery essentials and toilet paper and all the things you get at the grocery store, right? And they removed everything else because nobody was buying that stuff. Nobody was buying shoes. That's the logic of the situation.
The logic is, if people had never bought anything online before because they were just used to going to a store and getting it, and all of a sudden had to go online because they couldn't get to a store, then they had to go online and say, well, who should I go to online? Because I've never bought anything online before. Everybody keeps talking about Amazon. Let me go there first. That's just logic.
I don't know.
They're not,
You're not hearing me.
They're not going to Facebook. I'm hearing you. I'm hearing you.
Anything that disagrees with that. And I even said that is that problem that added to the situation that people were going to Amazon and they couldn't get those items delivered to them. They realized that there was a limitation to the Amazon buying system. It only worked in certain areas. It could only fulfill so many orders. And they got to the point where even people that would regularly use it could not get their items delivered and couldn't even find time frames for it.
I'm thinking we're saying the same thing. The immediate rush was to Amazon. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying Amazon fulfilled it. I'm saying that was the first stop for most people because Amazon was the only name they knew online when it came to retail.
All right.
Now what?
Let's go with what Ellen's talking about because we're not gonna agree to disagree because we're not even agreeing.
No, we're not. Apparently,
we're not listening.
Yeah, you're not listening. That's right.
No, I said you're not.
You say you're not.
I'll try to be nice.
No, okay.
I was trying to be nice.
Let's stop doing that.
This one. That's a good one. I like it.
But people were buying my pet products March, April at higher prices, but Amazon wasn't shipping, had pending money for a long time. Yeah, because they were trying to change their supply chain and their distribution to the essentials for like people. Once again, I think we're saying that Amazon got overloaded because people looked to them first for the essentials, even because they couldn't get the essentials the traditional way they got it. So their first stop was, let's try Amazon. And then Amazon couldn't handle it because it was just too much. And then all the other options started really kicking in. And I think that makes sense. If you go one place, the first place you hear of, you go to that and you can't get your stuff, then of course you're going to try going to other places to get it. And they were able to find it. Luckily, local stuff, other markets. Yeah. But the first stop for a lot of people, I'm not saying everyone, the first stop online for a lot of people was Amazon. And when that didn't work out.
So what happens when the first stop you go to is out of stock or not able to ship to you? What happens then?
I just said it. You go to other places.
So then explain to me how that's good for Amazon.
I didn't say it was good for Amazon. I said
that's the original. This is the whole trillionaire thing. You're saying that hold on, bro. Slow down. You're saying that the trillionaire thing is good for Amazon because he started shopping with Amazon. I'm saying that a lot of people got put off also with Amazon because they couldn't get the service. That's all I'm saying.
No, I think we're saying the same thing then because I said the initial move was to Amazon. Amazon failed for a lot of people. And that opened it up for them to go other places because they felt they had to.
Perfect.
That's all I'm saying. But
initially, we found an agreeing point. I agree.
Yeah. Now, will that opening?
Go past that, damn!
I'm going to go past it. Now that we've just determined, since people can buy toilet paper on Amazon again, are these companies that had that initial opportunity to take advantage of Amazon's shortfall, did they do it enough that people will stick with these little guys, comparatively speaking? Or now that Amazon is back on their footing, do people go back to where Amazon is still the first option?
Oh, well, here's what I think. I think that, and I'm not going to talk about little guys because I'm not, I think
other guys.
I think other guys are very intentional now about something that they thought would be a nice add-on. Feel me? I think they thought, hey, it'd be nice to take some of our share and do it online. I don't think that's the way they're thinking anymore. They're thinking like, dude, we got to get this shit done like immediately. And we see several of those institutions get very, very serious and make moves quickly. So I think Amazon might have some more competition that they weren't counting on.
Oh, I think you're right about that. I think they got hit hard It took them a while to get back on their feet, and we've been saying this all along. This has been the opportunity for people.
In reality, Brent, in reality, we say a while, but this is probably a span of 8 weeks. It's real, you know what I mean? Things change so quickly. It feels like a long, but it wasn't that long, and they didn't have a, you know what I mean?
That's what I've been saying all along. It hasn't been that long, and for the company to get hit. I mean, they were getting hit and they're still getting hit. Let's face it, they're still getting hit. They are still the number one target for everybody to try to take down. So, you know, that's still taking on. While that has been going on, they have been, you know, getting their second wind, or whatever you want to call it. And I think this 5, 6, 8 week window. This has been, you said it, this has been the time where these other companies should have been putting the pedal to the metal, bringing everything they got. And I think Shopify is actually the closest one to doing just that. They seem to have been doing a lot of stuff.
Hey, we didn't put it up, but, you know, I mean, Walmart, we talked about last week getting rid of Jet. I think that's part of it too.
Yeah. So I think, you know, I'll bring this up while we're talking, because this kind of feeds into our discussion from the other week. I think it was from last week.
Oh, Lord, yes. Oh,
so here's the thing. I think, you know, this number, it's a decent number.
But what is it saying? I'm trying to see what it's saying.
Facebook shops could bring 7 billion profits by 2023. And that's a big number.
Profits of what?
By 2023. I'm guessing, you know, whoever buys through this initiative they announced.
See, somebody said that on Seeking Alpha, and it's like, you need to seek guidance first.
Well, of course.
No, because there's Facebook shops. Facebook is not taking part of the transactions.
I'm just saying, if the actual transactions, whatever the percentage they're taking, if it get it to 7 billion by 2023, if that's the kind of business that's being transacting through that, that's pretty significant. But it's, you know,
I think it's that easy.
I think it's bigger news for Shopify
right.
when you put it in, you know, all the other things that Shopify is doing. So I really look at this and say, oh, I'm much more interested in Shopify than what this is going to do for Facebook.
Well, because Facebook is doing this as a marketing play. So they're looking to sell more ads by people being able to do business on Facebook. That's their, you know, Zuckerberg, that's what he said. They're not charging us anything to do these transactions in the beginning.
Yeah, we'll see how that works. By the way, Pierre, I didn't love the don't go past that comment.
He did. That's why it's up there, Pierre.
I didn't like. No, I'm not trying to censor people.
He did love it. That's why it's posted.
I did not love it. I thought you and I were boys, but okay, you're there with Meredith right now.
I got a story that kind of falls into this that I just want to touch on now.
Oh, what do you want the full screen for your story?
It doesn't have to be.
Okay, let me.
But it's about private label. I cannot say it. Private label sellers slowed down by the pandemic. Jesus. Anyway, the deal is, and the reason why this story is important is because, like Ellen, myself, and others that are on the platform, there was a lot of slowdown with the amount of product you could bring into Amazon, right? But not only that, there's backlogs in China getting products over. And then, of course, Amazon themselves have third-party Chinese sellers that are really having problem getting their products in. All right. And 50%, as we always talk about, 51% of all products on Amazon are done by third party, right? Here's the other part we don't talk about. 50% of the 50% is actually Chinese sellers.
Wow, that's a big chunk.
It's a big chunk. It's a big chunk. So Amazon is seeing some problem with its private label inventory. And I don't know how long that's going to last, especially with the uprisings, and I think you posted something about Amazon needing more planes. And if I think all of this is starting, there's a lot of boiling pots that they're looking at.
Yeah, that comes with having so many irons in so many different fires. It's kind of hard to keep all this stuff going, and some of this stuff is really foundational. And this whole thing about Amazon Air and the amount of fleets they need, or airplanes they need, in order to, I guess, truly create this global presence that we know they want. It's pretty significant. I'm going to see if I can try to find the space what I had. Here it is.
47, 42.
Amazon's momentum in recent years also point to a need for a considerably larger aircraft fleet. But to support a setup with 200 freighters, it needs compound annual growth of 19.9%. 200 freighters. Freighters. That's
200 freighters per what?
To be able to have at the disposal to move all this stuff around. I mean, I don't know how much a freighter is, but I know those things are huge. I mean, to have 200 in addition to the aircraft.
Well, I mean, they don't need to own them.
But who's going to own them and rent them out to them? What? FedEx?
People just want the money, but that's crazy. If they have an air fleet and a fleet of 200 freighters, they will have to worry about antitrust scrutiny at that point. Yeah, that's what I was thinking, Craig, too. It's like, I don't think they want to buy the freighters. They'll work with somebody on that one.
Well, check it out, though. It says currently Amazon's package volume is also considerably below those of the integrators. The Chaddock study, I don't know who Chaddock is, estimates that Amazon delivered 2.3 billion packages in the U.S. last year, well below the 3.1 by FedEx and UPS 4.7. And look at the U.S. Postal Service, 6.2 billion parcels they delivered last year. Now, isn't part of that 6.2 directly from Amazon, though?
I would guess it would have to be about 15 to 20%. That's my guess. That's an uneducated guess.
But when you add up all those parcels, that's well over 10 billion. That's probably closer to just all the parcels that when you add up Amazon, FedEx, UPS, and the Postal Service.
It's a lot.
That's a lot.
10 billion packages a year. And then Amazon's doing how many through Amazon? 2?
They're doing 2.3 last year.
2.3. Wow. So they're doing 23%.
But what do you think this year is going to be? I think it's going to be higher than that because of all the stuff that's going on here.
Well, I don't know. It's hard to tell, man. It could be higher than that if we stay the way we are right now, and we have a really strong fourth quarter. I could see that definitely happening.
I think what? We'll find out. But I mean, that number, that 200 freighters. See, that's why Amazon.
Well, you figure it like this, a lot of those freighters will be on the water. I mean, all the freighters are on the water, but it won't be in port somewhere. That's the transactional time it takes to get from one part of the world to the other. Most of those freighters will be in transit. That's the word.
Yeah.
So I see what they're saying, so that it could come in all the time to sustain their packaging needs or their sale needs. So all of that has to happen for the 4 billion too, or the first billion or trillionaire. Sorry, for the first trillion.
Yeah. That and even more increases in usage from AWS, because I think he doesn't get to a trillion unless AWS plays. I don't know what percentage of the business AWS would have to pay for that to happen, but it's got to be very significant because AWS revenue is much more higher margin, profit margin revenue. And I think that's going to drive stock prices and stuff like that.
Let me ask you this: 4 years from now, do you think they're depending on that?
4 years from now.
4 years from now. Sorry. Let me put it in a better way. Let me ask you: 4 years from now, do you think the margins on that will be the major driver that it is today?
I have no idea. Who knows what's going to happen in 4 years? Like you always say, who knows what's going to happen in 4 years? Right now, it's huge. I think their digital marketing platform is going to be much more of a driver in the next 4 years, because look at what's happened with COVID. All these physical events that you and I used to go to, they're all virtual. And guess what? That means more virtual dollars for advertising, more digital dollars for all this stuff. And of course, Facebook and Google are going to right now are standing in the way of getting the most of that. But Amazon is going to be right there in third place, and that's going to be more revenue at a higher profit margin than the retail stuff. So you look at digital ads, gaming. We can't forget about the gaming, and because I posted something about they just created their first game, so now they're going to start making their own games and keeping more of that profit. Twitch, there's digital ad platform with Twitch. I mean, they have found some good ways to make high profit revenue.
Twitch didn't work out. Twitch didn't work out as well as they thought.
I don't think it worked out the way they thought it was.
I think they're going to have to go in and retool.
But I think I've started seeing. I know I'm an old dude.
Extremely.
Yeah, but not quite as old as you. But the thing about it, I started looking at Twitch and some of these other platforms that have tons of people on there.
Not only tons of people. Here's the thing. It's not only that. I mean, the engagement is outrageous.
That's what I was about to say. They are on for hours. They're not on for minutes. And what kind of opportunities is that creating?
But see, they tried to put advertising in there, and it didn't work.
But I think they're going to be a little bit
back a little bit.
Yeah, but
they're going to figure out a way.
And I think you're going to see a lot more revenue sharing opportunities between these Twitch personalities and what Amazon, was putting out. So they have some really interesting levers to play. Of course, they have there's going to be more focus on grocery shopping, and they're going to get in on that. But the thing is that creates big revenues, but low margins.
Here's what exactly. Anyway, one of the things I'm wondering is like all the stuff that they talked about, right? For COVID at the last, stock thing, right?
Shareholders meeting.
Yeah, that's shareholders. I'm wondering how much of that will be non-essential in 2 months because you think about that was what 2-3 weeks ago.
Yeah, at least.
Right. And there was no talk of reopening. And now here we are reopening. And it's like, does all that matter now? It's just going to be really weird, man.
Yeah. Which means it's going to be really fun to watch all that goes on with this. And I still say the wild card in this is the government. The government is going to have a huge say in how this all plays out, one way or the other. The government.
Okay.
I'm saying government, and I'm meaning.
Yeah. Okay. I'm just making sure. Because I want to talk to the narrative. But yeah. Yeah, but actually, to be, it is the government, because we don't know what any of them really want to say and do. Because I think even when they had that interview with Joe, he talked about Amazon not very favorably.
Yeah, I think it's
like everybody once again for Amazon.
Well, like we've said, there only seems to be one person / entity that can bring AOC and Bernie and Liz Warren and the current resident of 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue only one person and entity seems to be able to bring that disparate group together. So that's why you do have to say government, not just one thing.
Good point. Okay.
All right.
I'll give you that.
That was a spirited session of watching Amazon.
You know what? Most of it was just me and my mode today based on the country.
You're just so angry. You are angry.
I am very angry.
Black man.
I'm very angry, and I'm a very black man.
And old. I left that one out.
And I'm old enough to know, you know. But I mean, you know, I honestly, I don't want to get it. But my spirit is very
heavy.
It's heavy, but also it's charged up right now to see justice in our country.
Fired up, ready to go.
Fired up. So that's just part of that. And you know what? I feel better. I got to yell at you.
That's apparently what I'm here for. And Ellen. And
I feel so much better.
Ellen, he feels better because he yelled at me. I'm sure Meredith will feel better when she listens to the replay. I bet Ellen is like, who the hell is this? He's always talking about me.
I know. She's probably like, dude, stop talking about me. Get my name off your lips.
And on that note, folks, we've come to another fun-filled, fast edition of Watching Amazon.
I'm going to go fix my computer.
Yes, just go and buy a new one. Go to Amazon right now and order you.
I am not buying it from Amazon.
Why? Get you one with a good.
I'm going to buy it straight from Apple.
Well, you know, whatever.
You know, actually, you know what? I'm looking on eBay, and I'm going to buy me a used computer.
Oh, okay. There you go. You go. Make sure. All I'm saying is make sure you get one with a great graphics processor unit. Get lots of video RAM. I'm
serious. This is a fast, good computer. It has one problem and one problem only: Google Chrome. I'm going to uninstall it first.
I got to pop up Ellen's last parting comment.
Thanks, Ellen.
Yes, we like you, Ellen.
She's like, it was entertaining.
Oh, I know. Thanks for the entertainment. That is why we're here.
Yes. Yes. We're like WWE. Just entertainment.
There it is. All right. So we'll see you next Wednesday. Hopefully you won't be doing that jerky dance thing again, but
Hopefully
we'll see.
Hopefully not.
Yes. And in the meantime, maybe get you a portal.
I'm going to talk to Brent about my setup. We'll see.
Yes. Yeah. Now we know where the knowledge is. There it is. Okay. All right. We'll see you next week. Hopefully between 1 and 1:20-ish, something like that. Just stay tuned.
All right, guys. We're out of here. Peace.